Comprehensive interlocking video, take 2. We did this last Sunday, and we're going to try again. This is a little, what used to be a bait store. I think it still is. It's like a bait. Hang on, let me zoom in there. Yeah, you can see they have like fishing rods and stuff in there, and they have hay.
And that is called Wanda's Closet. I think she is like a kind of like a thrift store.
Speak up.
Wanda's Closet is like a
Wanda's Closet?
Yeah, it's like a thrift store.
Is it? So yeah, they might have all kinds of stuff in here.
It's closed right now though, I think.
But they have, they sell hay and stuff. Is that hay the bunnies can use?
I don't know.
Anyway, we're going to try this video again. Like I said, we tried this last Sunday. It didn't work out. I had to reformat. I don't understand any of that. So I reformatted and lost all my data. So if you see this video, that didn't happen this time. If you don't see it, well, you'll never know about this anyway. So, okay, we're just gonna leave here. They do have like a thing out here on Saturdays, some Saturdays, like one Saturday a month or something, and it is coming up this Saturday, like a flea and farmer's market or something out here. And the driver formerly known as James is not interested in that because they have bunnies that they sell, and they treat them not so good.
They have wire cages, and that's bad for their feet.
Yeah, it hurts their feet.
They have bunnies upon bunnies piled on top of each other.
And you wouldn't like to be in a cage piled on top of someone, would you? Okay, there is the blueberry farm, which used to be way back out yonder. I worked there the summer, I believe, of 1989, and I had envisioned myself being a very wealthy blueberry picker. And me and my friends went out there. We picked like a little plastic bucket full of blueberries, sat down and ate them, and I made exactly $0.00. I was going to make like this really cool skateboard ramp and cut holes in the transitions and, you know, put in subwoofers. And it was going to be so rad, but it didn't turn out that way. Okay, so we are a little bit outside of Interlachen right here. And the whole point of this video is to show you, you know, city limit to city limit to city limit. And we're coming up on, this would be the south city limit right here, which is a new sign. Nobody's behind us, so I'm going to get this. That would be coming in on 315 South. And that's a new sign. They used to say celebrating 150 years or something. But those signs are all gone now at all entrances into Interlachen. And I don't know if any pictures of that exist. I'm sure they do. They were up there for years. So. Here, they've never done anything with this lot that they've cleared out. Yeah, this is not going to be as magical as that video we made the other day, but we really made a good one and then lost it. That was a bummer. Now this is somebody's home over here. We had started filming that, thinking that was where the Dunkin' Donuts was going to go, and we quit once we found out it was somebody's home. That's the Interlachen Elementary School. I laid sod there also, I believe, the summer of 1989. So if you know, enjoy seeing the grass there, I laid that sod. And that job didn't pay anything really. So my dreams of being Elon Musk in 1989 didn't happen. But I assure you, when I become Elon Musk, I'm going to open up a animal ranch where all needy dogs and cats and rabbits and giraffes, anybody who needs a home will be welcome there. And I will have an on-site veterinarian. Build them a little cabin on the ranch and they can stay there 24/7. And we'll have some on-site caretakers. As soon as I become a billionaire, that is. There is Hog Wild, one of their 2 locations. The other is behind us down 315. Down by the Kenwood boat ramp. There's the American Legion. And we are coming into the metropolis of Interlachen. Now this right here has been a lot of stuff over the years. It's now a doctor's office and a pharmacy. But I remember it was a pizza restaurant at one time that had a video game arcade. There is the Dollar General, or the Family Dollar, Dollar Tree. There is the Dunkin' that's being built currently. There is CVS. Yeah, that little plaza that's the pharmacy and the doctor's office was a pizza restaurant. I remember there was a novelty store in there as well. There has been several novelty stores in Interlachen over the years. Look at that, we're getting the red light treatment in Interlachen. And the Chick-fil-A mobile wagon was out last night, and I ran back to get my camera. By the time I got out here, it was gone. They park right there in AutoZone, and my best guess is what they're doing with that is trying to see, you know, if they make any money doing that. They might, Chick-fil-A might build a building out here. I have no idea. I've never seen a major corporate, you know, fast food place sell out of a wagon or truck, if you will. So my guess is that's what they're doing. So if you see the Chick-fil-A truck out there at AutoZone, be sure to run in there and get some Chick-fil-A. Although Plaka doesn't have a Chick-fil-A, which is weird. Plaka has everything in the way of fast food. You would think Plaka would get a Chick-fil-A first, right, Dr. Roman, James?
I reckon.
And there is our post office. And we are going to turn around up here at the liquor store, the Interlachen Liquors. As we are just about to leave the eastern city limits. And there's the sign right there. We're just going to go turn around and come back. I guess we'll just turn around right here. And there is your Carl Duval Moore State Forest. I've talked about that in the past. Done videos there. I did used to know Carl Duval Moore. When I was a little kid, he used to hang out at the Handyway store in his real tiny pickup truck. And people thought he was strange because he just sat there in his pickup truck. Okay, there's your sign for Carl Duval Moore State Forest, which is right here to your right. There is the Welcome to Interlachen sign coming this way. If you were going west, you'd be coming in, or if you were going east, you'd be leaving. And there's a whole bunch of homes over here. And there's a building here that has been several businesses over the years. I can't remember what all they were. One of them, the last one there, was a music shop. Right about here, back in the 80s and 90s would have been like a rug place. Oddly enough, it was a big aluminum building. You could barely see it whenever I make this, when I made that Hardee's video right there. I really wish I would have took that camera and went out with it and did this. I think I did a few times, and I may still find those tapes. So I would have early 90s Interlachen on tape if I can ever find the tapes. But I wish I would have done it on that particular tape, because I have that tape. But I didn't, so. But it's still cool to see the Hardee's there. And the Ecker Drugs, which are both long gone. And for anybody living out west and doesn't know what Hardee's is, it's Carl's Jr. Same exact thing. I don't know why they've given them different names. I'm sure you could find that out pretty easily if you wanted to. But it's the exact same food, the exact same, I think, owners too. Well, of course, yeah, the owners. All right, now I'm going to show you something that a lot of people in Interlachen probably don't know, unless you're an old timer like myself. If you drive down, this is 315, we're headed north. If you drive down this way, or come on 315 this way, you will not see a welcome to Interlachen sign. Most people probably have no idea where the Interlachen city limits begin or end here, but I'm about to show you. I sure am. So right about here, where that speed limit sign is, 35 miles an hour, was a sign back in the 80s and early 90s that said "now leaving Interlachen." That sign is now gone. And unless you're an old timer who remembers that, I remember it because I put "skateboarding is not a crime" sticker on it. It was on there forever. And anybody who was leaving Interlachen would know that skateboarding was not a crime. Okay, this is McGill Street. Here's that property I showed where they had the one-way sign and it spooked me. And I didn't walk all the way down there, but that property is now not for sale. The signs are all gone, so either somebody bought it or somebody decided against selling it. I'm sure, I don't know. Okay, now we're just going to ride out to the west part of Interlachen and show you that sign. This will be the city limit to city limit drive. City limit to city limit to city limit. And now you know where the city limit, the official city limit, is there for Interlachen. And why there's no sign there. There was one once upon a time. Why they took it down, I do not know. Okay, so this is Francis Street. What now, TikTok?
Hello, everybody.
Hello, TikTok. Hello, baby Murray Alpha Okra. How are you today? Yeah, very good. All right, then. They just wanted to be in the video, too. That was Andre Avenue to our right. Here's one of these yellow signs that have popped up. Okay, we did this one here for that lot. And across the street here is another one of those lots with the little yellow signs. And we'll show you it right fast. Nobody's behind us?
No.
Okay, there's the sign. These signs have popped up in a lot of places in Interlachen. And there's what you're, looking at to buy. So if you are interested in that property, you can call that number on the sign. Okay. And there is the Interlachen water tower. I'm going to zoom in on that because you cannot see it if I don't. You can see it with the naked eye, but unless I zoom in, you're not going to see it on the camera. Which is weird how that works. Because you can see it rather well with the naked eye right here. And there is the P hump. Driver formerly known as James likes the P hump. She does. And then there are a bunch of these till we get down to Highway 20. Here, let me shoot right over here, slow down. Or when we get up to this street, actually. There is Lake Chipko. Right there used to be a public access area, and I don't think it's there anymore. But that's Lake Chipko, which you can also see from Highway 20. Man, this is a good coffee video right here, a good nap time video. If I wasn't me, I would put this on and just nap out.
I like serial killer videos for my napping time.
Yeah, that's weird. Driver formerly known as James is a weirdie. And I know I talked about a million other things when we did this video on Sunday. They were probably pretty interesting and useful to people wanting to know some Interlachen history. It's just not coming to me. Man, I'll be so bummed out if I get another I need to reformat. That would be lame. Probably this memory card though. Maybe they only have X amount of life on them. I'm sure, I don't know. There goes another cop. Everywhere around here. You'd think Interlachen was riddled with crime, but it's not. Alright, now we're just going to go down here. This is down by Lady Slipper Lake, where we just went out the other day and did Panama Street. So technically we don't really need to do this again if you watch that video, but I'm trying to do a comprehensive Interlachen video showing it all in one video. And there is your Azalea Health, which is the Interlachen little health clinic. So hopefully everybody is having a good day today. Be for the best. There is Town and Tire, which is another one of those buildings that has been many different businesses over the years. I think if this one doesn't take, I don't think we're going to do this again. At least not till I get a new car. Okay, up here to the right is the Interlachen City Dump. If you hung a right here, you would go down to the dump, where they now have an attendant at the dump.
Two different attendants.
Right.
Two different attendants.
Yeah, I remember back in the old days in the 80s, you just pulled in there and dumped your garbage. There was no attendant. You just pulled up to the hole and threw your garbage in it. And now they have attendants to tell you, you got to go to 1, 2, or 3.
And poke fun at you.
Right?
And poke fun at you while they do it.
Yeah, I think they're better than everybody there, don't they?
No, they're friendly.
I was just being facetious.
They're hilarious.
Yeah, that's just another, you know, another example of government growing big. And something I don't really, do you really need an attendant at the dump? Could cut some money right there. Okay, and this is the Jehovah's Witness Church up here to the right. And we're going to turn around right up here because there's our sign. Turn around wherever. Just head us back towards town. There is your Jehovah's Witness Church. And this little plaza right here, that used to be a Handyway. And before it was a Handyway, it was a Jiffy store. I'm fairly certain of that. And now it has a salon and barber shop in there. And things come and go in there all the time. Before it was a salon and barber shop, it was a pawn shop or a thrift shop not too long ago. And that didn't make it, and before it was a thrift store, it was something else. Let me adjust myself there. Okay, and if you were coming in from the west, like say from Hawthorne or Gainesville, this would be your Welcome to Interlachen sign on Highway 20. Right there. And that one just says Welcome to Interlachen. That is Lady Slipper Lake. And now we're just going to drive through the old town of Interlachen. And I'll show you a few things there that, unless you're an old timer, you probably don't know. I'm going to say, if anybody's watching this video who knows someone who, you know, has been around Interlachen, I go as far back as the 70s. If you know someone who goes further back, like say to the 50s or 60s, and you know, you could convince them to go out and make a video like this talking about Interlachen in the 50s and 60s, I would love it. That would be so cool. We got some birds out in the street here. I don't, you know, it would be something else to have somebody do what I'm doing who goes further back. I go as far back as the 70s. And really only the late 70s, because that's, I don't remember coming up here obviously when I was a baby in the early 70s or the middle 70s. But I do remember, you know, 78, 79 very well. Driver formerly known as James wasn't even born yet. Driver formerly known as James. The good news is the driver formerly known as James is younger than me.
And better looking.
The bad news is that the bad news is she's still old AF. It's no treat to be younger than me because I'm so old. Alright then. We have done this drive on our videos many, many times. The Catholic Church is on your left, straight away. And we're going back past the Azalea Health Clinic. Haza Health. I thought it was Azalea.
Not anymore. They changed that a couple years ago.
Well, it used to be Azalea.
Yep, they changed it over.
Alright, up here, hang a right. Your next right. Okay, there is the Episcopal Church. Me and my buddies used to skate there back in the day on a nice little bench back there. I don't know if you could see it, they're still there. We used to skate those benches. Hang a left. We're gonna go down and see if that church thrift store is open. We haven't been by here in quite a while. And since we're here, we might as well. Oh, and I'll show you my house I love so much too. Right here. This is an old looking Miami house right there. The only one of its kind in Interlachen. That definitely looks like it was straight out of Miami. And there is a pretty old church. This is the Methodist Church. has a sign up by the door, probably tells you when it was built, but they're having church now and I'm not gonna go. Oh, it looks like the thrift store is open. Or maybe that's just people parking. No, they got the little shed door open over there where they have stuff for sale out there. No, we're not gonna go in.
Oh, I thought you were going.
I was just wanting to see if they're open again, and they are. Very cool. So we may come back here and do a video in there one day now that they're open again. There is the Interlachen, the old post office, which has been condemned. Very cool. Go straight. That's and remember this little thing will.
Yeah, no, I don't like this spot.
Got to go very slow. That is Tom's Heating, or was Tom's Heating in there. I had a viewer left a comment that Tom passed away. Was sad to hear that.
Ooh.
But it's now Galactic Nutrition. And we're gonna just kind of go slow right by here. Nobody behind us. Okay, right here, slow down. Let me come over with the camera this way, watch your head. That was a little, like a little plaza that had a barber shop in it. And I did get my hair cut there a time or two. And that was back when barber shops were on every corner just about. Okay, and right here was Nick's Market. And when I would come up here to see my grandparents in the 70s, this is where they would go for, you know, there was no Dollar General or Hitchcock's. If they needed something, you know, marketable, they either came here to Nick's, which is now just a empty field. It was an old building like the post office. It is now gone. So they either came to Nick's or they had to drive into Palatka. And a lot of times they just came down to Nick's. Go this way. And in the 80s, the building that was Nick's was still there, but it was Bravo's Market. It was like a Hispanic market. And they sold, you know, Hispanic foods and stuff. And of course they had, you know, American stuff in there too, but Kraft macaroni and cheese next to your Goya.
I like Goya.
Goya rice or yellow rice or whatever. And there was also a laundromat next to the Bravos. Okay, go straight away. I think this is about gonna do it. I know this isn't as good as the first one we did. When you lose a video like that and try to redo it, it'll never be as good as it was the first time. That's just the way that goes. And I am down to a bar battery, so hopefully this don't cut out of me. And go left, and then we'll talk about Bluebell on the way out of here. Bluebell's Diner used to be here in the 70s and into the 80s, well into the 80s. In the late 80s, Friar's Chicken took it over, and now there's only one Friar's Chicken left in existence in Melrose, Florida. We need to go there. I don't think we've ever done a video there, have we? We need to go there and do one. Anyway, pull into the CVS parking lot so we can end this video. And I will.
Mr. Miyagi is not bothered by his recovery suit anymore.
Yeah, that's good. He's having trouble walking in it even, but he's like a champ now. Go down to this one down there if you would, please. Drive for me, nose, James.
Which one?
Top right. So we could talk about Bluebell's Diner just for a second. Now this is a 4-lane road out here, but it wasn't always a 4-lane road. It was a 2-lane road. And I think that the old 2-lane road is the one, you know, the far one over there. So I think right where I'm pointing the camera at, like right beyond these bushes or right in this area, would have been Bluebell's Diner. As far as I know, I've looked, there are no pictures, at least online, of Bluebell's Diner, which is a shame. That was pretty much the only eatery in town for decades. you know, from the 70s to the 80s anyway. Well, there was that little restaurant over there. So, but that was more of like a restaurant, go in and sit down. You know, this one,
Nana's, I think it's called.
something like that. That one there that's across from the McDonald's was there. I know that because when my grandparents first moved up here in the late 60s, that's where they used to go and eat sometimes. But Bluebell's, I don't know how long Bluebell's was there, or if it was built to be Bluebell's, or if there was something else in it before Bluebell's. But that's one of those things I'd like someone older than me to kind of drive through here and talk about. But it would be cool if someone did that. Like I said, I only go so far back, and I can only tell you what I know from my memories. But this was Bluebell's right here, right where I'm pointing the camera, right where the sidewalk is over there. This would have all been Bluebell's Diner. And then in the late 80s, maybe 88 or so, 87, it became Friar's Chicken. The lady that owned Friar's Chicken built a whole new, nice, brand new building for Friar's Chicken right over, you know, where the fireworks stand now is. And when they expanded the road, they had to tear her building down. I don't think she was happy about that. They've never come back to Interlachen, so. But yeah. So please, if you know somebody who's an old timer, an older timer than me in Interlachen, and they're willing to go out and ride around. In fact, if you're an old timer, maybe me and the driver formerly known as James will come and pick you up, and you could, you know, talk about some things and fill in some holes that I have, because like I said, only go back so far. All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you next time. So I know this wasn't as good as the first time we shot it, but pictures, or it didn't happen, and I don't have those pictures, so I can't prove that it was great. But you just have to take my word for it. Right, driver formerly known as James?
I reckon.
All right, then. Peace out, everybody.